Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Decrease in the cloud cover as we head through the overnight. It's going to be blustery and cold overnight lows in the low to mid 20s with diminishing winds. Sunny skies, not as chilly on Wednesday. Our high upper 40s to low 50s. Sunny skies, low 50s Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather update is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Ready to serve you.
Radio to sign up for free.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith, from the Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3.
I want to see good times again in March. We even had aspirations of April, but I don't think a NBA-type player is getting ready to emerge. The one guy that could do it is Trevin Brazell. He's going to put on his big boy basketball pants and go.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
And we welcome you in to a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of The Morning Rush. I've got about 4 or 5 this morning I'd love to share with you. I know you've got plenty this week on various themes. Start of the new year, everyone's already griping about something. That's perfectly okay. That's why we have this show for you. I've got some ones that I'm angry about. I've got some ones that other people seem frustrated with. Hoping this basketball team finds itself tonight in Athens, Georgia, in Stegman Coliseum coming up at 8 o'clock. And we've got some more football news to react to as well as we get rolling here early at 6:01 this morning.
How about the weather? How about the weather forecast? That could be my beef to start today. I mean, we've all looked at this thing. Have you? I mean, I think it's what everyone's kind of talking about besides the Razorbacks. That's my beef. Next week's weather forecast. You kidding me? Overnight lows below 0 on Monday, on Tuesday. We're going into the deep freeze on Friday of this week, and it's going to be a week before we get above freezing again. Holy cow. We're talking here in Fayetteville, 3 below on Monday, 7 below on Tuesday is what the forecast is this morning. That's my beef this morning. Going to be not cold. This is Arctic. This is Arctic type weather. Let's go south, man. Let's go somewhere and do the show where it's going to be like, a balmy 42 or something. I don't know where we'd go, but man, this is ridiculous next week.
It's pretty cold, and Fayetteville, Northwest Arkansas, at points in other parts of the area, it gets frigid all over.
Now it's going to be 56 tomorrow. It's going to be your last day to do anything.
But then it just turns to...
Then Friday, I mean, don't be fooled by Friday's high. Friday says 53 for the high. That's at like midnight. And by noon, it's going to be 32 degrees. And then we don't see above freezing temperatures again till like next Thursday.
My dad's new favorite thing is his push-to-start keychain because he'll, instead of having to wait 5 or 10 minutes to get your vehicle defrosted or get it warmed up, he just starts it about 5 minutes before he go, and then when he walks outside, it's all good to go. I do not.
Remote start's what you're talking about.
I do not have one of those doohickeys for my car.
You don't have remote start? As new as your car is? I thought they all came with remote start anymore.
Nope. I think I was given the option to pay for it, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. I wish I would, but all I do, turn my car on early in the morning, step back inside for 5 minutes, and then you're good to go at this point. But if you have remote start, I know you're
until someone steals your car.
Yeah. Well, you have the I say that I have friends that have the actual push to start and the keychain itself, but I don't have that. Well, I have not had that issue. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that
point.
What
do you mean the keychain? Like your key fob that?
Yeah, the fob.
Okay.
So, but I guess that is a possibility of someone stealing my car. Luckily, I'm.
Yeah, because you got to leave the key in yours if you don't have it.
Mm-hmm. So. Luckily, I'm right outside, so I'd hear it start. Hopefully that doesn't ever present itself at this morning. That would definitely be a beef on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where we begin. So basketball team, 8 o'clock tonight. That's probably a beef of some. The late start. I mean, for us old guys, you young guys can stay up all night, but man, 8 o'clock starts. May have to have a power nap or something this afternoon.
I'm not young anymore. I'm almost 30, as you like to bring up. So I will probably.
I mean, you have the receding hairline of a 40-year-old, but you're still 29.
It's not just openly, blatantly lie here on a Wednesday. Let's wait till Thursday till we do that. Yeah. But it is, again, I'm not a fan of the 8 o'clock starts. 7 is the latest for me, 7:15, 7:30. I mean, the Duke game didn't get going till 8:15. I think I got 2 or 3 hours of sleep that night.
I've used my one up for the year for basketball.
Yeah,
Stay up late.
Jeez Louise. And I've got a couple morning rush.
I remember sitting in my seat at Bud Walton, just kind of waiting for the show to start, and yawning. Yeah, it'll be that night. I'll be struggling to stay awake for the tip tonight.
This is a nap night, and I know most people watch it, go to bed, they wake up at a reasonable hour, 6, 6:30, 7, but
Pardon me for asking and not knowing the answer to the question, but any idea who's the game on in front of Arkansas? The 6 o'clock game. I shouldn't do that.
It's
to you.
an ESPN. I know it's on ESPNU. I would guess it's not an SEC team. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
No, you're good. It is, but it is on ESPNU. I did know that off the top of my head. But we always root for the setup where the teams before don't play. Colorado and California play after you.
All right.
But I'm not seeing.
Anyway, you always hope they don't go long. It was my point. So, because that's the other thing that stinks about this setup. But
yeah, it's not fun when, again, your game has started and you either have to flip it to the app, you flip it to another channel, whatever the case may be, because the game before has started, like the North Carolina, I guess it was North Carolina, Tennessee, before the Duke game that people were getting frustrated about.
NC State, North Carolina's at 7 on ESPN, maybe.
It's ESPNU, so it's not that.
That's not it.
ESPNU. So the 7.
Anyway, but should be, another piece to the puzzle tonight. And how do you respond to the butt whooping you took in your opener? How do you respond to what happened Saturday? I mean, that's why I'm tuning in tonight. Are you going to man up? What are you going to do tonight, to show, hey, what we showed against Auburn isn't who we are. That's not our identity. We want to separate ourselves from what people think about us right now. How much pride do you have in your team and your individual performance and what people think of you as a basketball team? Maybe I'm overstating it, but that to me tonight's the story. How do you respond? Do you come back and you're ready to get off the stool and come out of your corner swinging, got the gloves up? Not literally, but figuratively. Are you ready tonight to show the rest of the SEC basketball world that we're not going to be a pushover? Because right now, man, I'm thinking if I'm Florida coming up on the schedule, hell, even if I'm Georgia tonight, hey, these guys are not only beatable, we should win this game.
Yeah, they just went on the road to beat.
I mean, what people think of you about you as a team is on the line tonight.
Mm-hmm. And Georgia just went on the road to Columbia and beat Missouri. So this is a team that feels like that they can start out conference 2-0. You are again trying to just even up your conference slate at 1-1. You do not want to start an 0-2 hole having to head to Gainesville this weekend, who barely lost to Kentucky this past weekend.
This right here is just embarrassing enough right now. Arkansas is catching 3.5 on the road on the Bet Saracen app. Who would have had Georgia as the favorite, 2 months ago? Nobody.
No, I didn't.
I didn't. But you're catching 3.5 on the road tonight.
Any beef with this being an 8 o'clock game?
Well, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah, I mean well, for us guys to get up early, probably anyone listening right now has a beef too. Because if you're up listening this early, you probably, like us, got responsibilities to be at earlier than most.
Yippee-ki-yay, 340. At least, and we got to ask Austin, is Ozark texted on the McClarty Daniel hotline. It's Matt, did Derek or Zach volunteer tonight? I know they both wanted to do. Okay, I know they both wanted to do that, but
yeah. Everybody loves signing up for
Zach
the.
and Matt Jones will be doing hog reaction across our airwaves and hitthatline.com tonight.
Hey, be sure to join ESPN Arkansas in the Morning Rush and supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest. This is something we're going to be doing all month long to raise money for one of the great assets I believe we have in our state, and that's Arkansas Children's Hospital and now Arkansas Children's Northwest, who fulfill the promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. Donate now through February 2nd online. We'd like for you to go to hitthatline.com, but please be sure and click on the Morning Rush fundraising link. It's brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View inventory online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. And let's all get behind Arkansas Children's Northwest, and let's get behind the Morning Rush as we're trying to raise more money than the other guys around here.
All right, when we come back, more beefs and more calls coming up.
Shop local, eat local, be local. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790, 800-568-2790, or biglou.com.
Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit, or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Billy, can I ask you a question?
You just did.
Seriously, we are getting a lot of positive comments about you. What's your secret?
Oh, I just follow the 4 W's.
4 W's? Aren't there 5?
5?
Yeah. What, where, when, why, and who?
Wes, who starts with an H?
That's how.
I don't know how. It just does.
No, who starts with a W?
You sure?
Positive.
Anywho, my 4 W's are, what would Wes want? I picture every customer like there's you asking for something. What you want is what they want. What would Wes want? WWWW, 4 W's. Makes 8 U's.
Huh?
Treat customers like you, and it doubles the people. Pretty simple the way I see it.
4 W's. What would Wes want? Billy, you're brilliant.
Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco.
For hard work and the great outdoors.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh-made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Chuck is a living legend in this state. And anytime I get to talk to Chuck, it's a privilege and an honor to speak to you. And as long as you, Ty, you know you're a little wet behind the ears.
Benefield, right side, step back three, and he got another one to fall. How about Keon Benefield? 47-40 Razorbacks, 16 in the first half of the transfer.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
So the Purdue Boilermakers went to Lincoln, Nebraska last night and lost by 16. Didn't get a chance to watch it because it was on Peacock, as will the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Miami Dolphins this week. And I want to discuss my disdain and my beef with Peacock, the NFL, and that coming up in just a sec.
Hey, yesterday morning, Bruce Stanton was with us in the 7 o'clock hour. He is the vice president and general manager at Pradco. Pradco makes fishing brands and fishing lures of all kinds. In fact, about 20 different brands here in Arkansas. Their number one volume lure of all the fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. They make them by the millions in their Fort Smith facility. It's without a doubt the number one soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. You can fish it under a light jig head or underneath a float. You'll find it to work just as well as live bait. Find it at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We'd recommend get that monkey milk. There's a variety of colors. Monkey milk's the one to go with. This is the number one seller.
Yep, and he said that was what was sold the most last week at that convention or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Monkey milk is Clay Henry swears by it.
And Clay will be with us in the 8 o'clock hour. So if you get a chance to stay with us for that long, excited to have Clay back on. If you missed that, then you can listen to our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. All right, let's get to the task at hand. Peacock, NBC streaming app. $5.99 is what it's going to cost you if you're a Kansas City Chiefs or Miami Dolphins fan to watch this weekend. Kansas City's probably the second biggest NFL market amongst our listening areas, whether it's across our airwaves or hitthatline.com. It's probably one of the most, again, polarizing teams in the National Football League, what Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and them have done the last 5 years or so. And again, you're going to have to pay $5.99. You can cancel it, I found out, after the game. You can cancel it at the end of the month, whatever you have to do. This isn't like a month-long contract, or a year-long contract or anything, but there's no free trials. The NFL was paid $110 million by NBC so they can do that. This will not be the end of streaming games on apps. This is just the beginning, in my opinion. But this is frustrating to me, and I'm not even a Chiefs fan.
Well, this isn't just trying to get you down. This is pay-per-view. This is, trust me, they are testing the waters for what pay-per-view for NFL playoff games looks like. You are exactly right, Ty. This is not the end of this. This is merely the beginning. Now, and this isn't exactly the way to look at it from a business perspective, but if you took $110 million divided by $6 a piece, that's a little over $18 million. Now, they don't expect to sell 18 million subscriptions. They still got advertising revenue, and of course, it costs more than 110 to put the game on because you got to pay all the production costs and your announcers and your camera people and all that stuff. But they'll sell the advertising. Trust me, it won't be an ad-free broadcast in any way, shape, or form. And then there'll be some that sign up and forget to cancel it after the first month, and they're hoping to hang on to some of those. I can assure you of this, there will be a gazillion promos about all the great benefits and features and programming you can get at Peacock if you keep your subscription. They'll be shoving that down your throat throughout that broadcast, hoping you hang on to your $5.99 a month. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to download. I don't think we have Peacock. I don't remember ever watching that. But if we don't, I'm not downloading it to watch this one game.
Other 10 subscription services.
So we got the Hulu bundle, and I got Netflix. Those are the ones I know about.
Because that's Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus Netflix.
So is this just like I wonder?
Oh, and I got Paramount for free with my Walmart.
I also
app.
have Paramount for free.
It's a scaled-down version, but I got it.
Will this be the only playoff game that they do this year? Is it
this
just
year? Yes.
This year, but
I'll tell you what I'm saying. This is a trial balloon to, I think, eventually put them all. I say all. More of the wild card weekend, at least. That's where they'll begin. This is not, and this isn't just for the NFL. This will creep into other sports, other pro sports. I don't know if it'll creep into college because they like the guaranteed money, but the NFL can afford to take this risk and see if it works. Now, how much risk is there when they're getting $110 million? My guess is NBC's probably got well over half of that sold in advertising. If they can pick up a few million subscriptions, they're going to feel like this is a banner day.
And it's the marquee game, too. I would argue it's the best playoff game of the weekend.
And that's why do you think they're doing that with Peacock? Because, here's the thing that's changed everything, guys. Gambling. Yeah. Gambling. Are you going to sit this one out? If you like to gamble and use your Bet Saracen app and gamble on postseason games, and this is what you live for as someone that enjoys playing pro football, you're not going to miss watching the game if you've got $50 or $100 or whatever. I can assure you that if you've got anything wagered on this game, the $5.99 are not even going to be in consideration. Done. Over with. You've already made that decision. Gambling's changed a lot of this, and a lot of people that have action on the game, everyone that has action on the game will have this dialed up.
And I don't know the rules and regulations for bars and restaurants and the ability to play this game back, and if they're having to pay an extra rights fee, or if some will just do it under the table that have the Peacock app and they use it and play it. But I wonder how many fans, Kansas City Chiefs fans, will either just go to someone's house that have it, which I would guess is more likely than.
We're talking about $6, dude.
But
or $6. I mean, this isn't pay-per-view where you're paying. This isn't a UFC fight or a championship boxing match. We're not paying $50 or $60, and I think that's where we're probably ultimately headed.
And I agree with that premise, but
$6.
It's the principle. It's the idea that we pay all this stuff
already.
Okay,
so out of principle, I'm going to spend $25 or $30 in eats and drinks and gas and whatever else to go to my buddy's house to avoid $6. Come on, man.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a principle. I'm not going to pay it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to watch this game, but I will not pay for this $6 out of my principles that I hold steadfast and true to.
But you'll waste $10 on something else you don't even think about.
100%, but not this.
All right. Well, that's
so. And I think I'm not the only one that feels that way. As dumb as that logic is, I'm not the only one that's going to have that same thought heading into Saturday night.
It's the process of signing up too.
Yeah, well, you're right about that.
Yeah, again, they make it convoluted. And it's the cancellation. We were talking about cancellations last week, how I can't get out of my gym membership. I bet Peacock's probably got something corked up where it's very convoluted and confusing to get out of their membership, too. Just a guess. Don't know if it's true or not. Richard Davenport coming up next.
Do you want to listen to your favorite Hit That Line podcast? We've got you covered. Just click on the podcast tab at the top of hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line anywhere you listen to podcasts.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yeah.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Yesterday, we're going to have on Kobe Branham, Fort Smith Southside Maverick, and Arkansas offensive lineman coming up at 7:20. So if you get a chance to listen, do so, or find it in our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Also, this text from Bama Dave. Can't believe I'm agreeing with the Bama fan. He said it's not about paying $6 for Peacock. It's about the NFL trying to charge the fans more money just to watch a game. And like you said, Tommy, eventually a lot of the professional sports are going to be on a streaming app that costs even more to opt. This is where they're trying to prepare us for it. And if we stand up now, we can stop it. Thank you, Bama Dave. I'm with you. I will not pay for Peacock on Saturday night.
Well, I got more thoughts on this, but what if, quickly just put this in the calculus, what if someday the NFL just said, you know what, we're not going to sell the rights, we're going to keep them ourselves, and we'll produce the games. We'll partner with somebody to put these games on pay-per-view, and hey, it's going to cost you $50 a game to watch.
Say a game? Ugh.
Or maybe it's a weekend pass for $100 to watch all the wild card games or something. I promise you that I don't think that extreme is going to happen anytime soon, but I can promise you the conversations have been had.
NFL Plus.
How much more money could we make if we? But if you're NBC, Fox, CBS, where you make your money, your big money is in the playoff games because you have your biggest audiences, 40 million plus for these wild card games in a lot of cases. All right, Richard Davenport coming up. Hey, there's no better place to watch games and not pay the $5.99 for the Peacock app than at Sassy's Barbecue in Fayetteville. Enjoy those award-winning smoked wings and baby back ribs. How about a big plate of nachos? And, of course, drink specials when the Hogs are playing, inside or outside. I can promise you outside next week's going to be no good. So cozy up inside Sassy's 2 locations on College and Sassy's off the Weddington exit. They're ready to take care of you. And if you're having people over, you can get one of their Razor Packs for your tailgate or watch parties. You can order those online at sassysbarbecue.com. And don't forget happy hour weekdays 3 till 6. Hey, when it comes to barbecue, catfish, burgers, and more, nobody does it better than Sassy's. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
So I know I contemplated doing the NFL Plus package, which was $100 basically for every out-of-market game in Red Zone, which is not a bad deal for the season. That's not bad. $100, that you can convince me. Red Zone, I can be convinced. In terms of one game, I can't be convinced. Let's talk to our friend Richard Davenport here on the McCarty Daniel Hotline. RD, Razorback football got some good news. A couple commits and signs last week. Jaquinda Jackson, running back from Utah. Anton Junkaj from Albany. And then also Marquise Robinson from South Alabama. What did you make of the additions last week as we welcome you in this morning?
Well, Robinson is obviously the trend is going offensively is to go to bigger receivers, and defensively to try to match that. And Robinson is definitely a bigger cornerback. That's the one thing that really stood out to me when I saw him after his visit. He's a legitimate 6'2", 195, 200 pounds. I guess he could probably play a safety if needed too, just because of his size. But he just passes the eye test, and he was very productive at South Alabama. They went into Stillwater and beat the heck out of Oklahoma State. So they obviously had some talent, and he was one of the leaders on defense. And the guy that and I keep harping on it, but I mean, the first thing that I noticed was the size. He was listed like 6'1", about 184, but after seeing him, I could tell he was bigger.
One of the guys that a lot of Arkansas fans have kind of flocked to is Kendrick Blackshire. I remember seeing this kid, Duncanville, out of high school, and he looked like he was 22 years old, and he's big, 6'2", good weight on him, played and had some good success at Alabama at linebacker. Is reportedly getting looked at by Ole Miss, Texas, and any idea if Arkansas has potentially reached out? I think they're at a coaching convention this week too.
Yeah, but I think that's wrapped up. But no, there's been communication. What happens after that can't say, but there's communication. And one thing, I mean, obviously we talked about the January 3rd through the 7th window for transfers to be able to visit, but they can also visit this weekend or beyond. Arkansas's first day of the spring semester is the 16th, but the 22nd is the latest day that a midterm transfer can enroll at Arkansas. So there's plenty of time to still get guys on campus and visit, and then obviously enroll for the semester. But I do know that there's communication with him.
Richard Davenport with us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline. Richard, you probably get asked this. I got asked this question the other day, and I didn't have a solid answer to give him. How do they go about ranking these transfer portal classes? Is it ranking players based on their college performance to this point? Is it looking back at old recruiting rankings? How do you go about putting together and compiling transfer portal classes and how one stands out over another?
Yeah, obviously you look at tape, you look at production wherever they were, and some guys you just project because there's not, some of them don't have the most tape, and that's kind of hard to really evaluate. But some of the guys that have a little bit of tape, you evaluate that, you just envision them, playing more and seeing what you see on film. And does that translate to more playing time at the new school? But as far as rankings, as far as team rankings, on three is a little different, and I wish they had it kind of different. But they rank the team classes by a combination of what you're bringing in and what you've lost. I wish they just did it based on what you're bringing in, and then you can have that other ranking where you have the incoming transfers and what you've lost. I would prefer them to have both, but they combine the two and come up with a team ranking, and I don't necessarily agree with that. I wish they would just separate that and just rank the guys that are coming in, and you have a better idea. But as far as the rankings of the guys individually, a lot of them obviously have played, and that's pretty easy to evaluate. But some of them, guys that have had, 10, 15 tackles, you evaluate the film that you do have of them from there, and then make assessments with that. And obviously, I think with their background in high school too, and what they've done in high school and their ranking in high school, I think it influences that too. It's somewhat of a guessing game when you're talking about guys that haven't had a lot of film.
Next hour, Arkansas offensive lineman Kobe Branham is going to join us, former Southside Maverick. He's reporting on Friday to campus to get ready. He's an early enrollee. Could be others getting up there early. This is an interesting time as they're coming into a program that in transition with the offensive coaching staff. I'm sure we'll be talking with Kobe about new offensive line coach Eric Mateos and kind of how that relationship has developed or transitioned since the change from Cody Kennedy. But an important weekend, Richard, on campus is the early enrollees will be arriving and getting ready for the 8 weeks of off season ahead of spring practice.
Yeah, some of the transfers are already on campus, and the rest of them will be coming in the next few days. And then obviously you said the high school signees, all but I think 3 are early enrollees. So that's pretty impressive in itself, and that's just the trend nowadays. The vast majority of your guys are coming in at midterm and trying to go through off season and obviously go through spring, and it gives them a heads up on other guys that are coming in later. But that's been the trend the last 10, 15 years, and it just seems to be increasing. And it also helps that, I mean, obviously it's more publicized, and kids coming up and parents, they see that, and then they start asking the coaches and counselors, hey, how can my son get his classwork in time to enroll early wherever he wants to go as a senior.
Richard, Ronnie Fouch, wide receiver coach, was announced earlier this week, coached under Bobby Petrino at both Louisville and Missouri State. What kind of moves and impact do you think he needs to make in his first year at the helm at Arkansas?
Well, I mean, recruiting, I mean, if you're talking about recruiting, man, the number one thing, you just have to be relentless and just stay in contact with guys. That's not always the case sometimes with some college coaches, and you just can't. If you want to recruit at a high level, you got to be develop those relationships, staying in contact, reaching out to kids 2 or 3 times a week, getting them on the phone at least once, and just develop those relationships and just being relentless. And I think that's the only way you're successful as a college coach in recruiting. And being a younger guy, I'm sure he's going to bring that type of energy. And also, like you said, with him working with Coach Petrino several times in his early part of his career, and him being a former college quarterback, I think also helps him. But if Coach Petrino hires you, or and Coach Pittman says, yeah, let's bring this guy on, you know this guy knows a little bit about a football, and it also is just a good type working relationship with Coach Petrino, because obviously the receivers are a vital part of the offense and his philosophy.
Richard, last thing before we let you go, basketball question for you. Terrion Burgess had a really good game against Pine Bluff earlier this week. I know you were talking about that a little bit. Kind of where is Arkansas basketball with his recruitment, and where else do you think he's potentially looking to play college ball?
Arkansas and he are very strong. I mean, obviously he's going to keep his options open, but he's been to campus several, I think about 4. I was communicating with his dad recently, and he's been on campus about 5 times. Yeah, I could be off by 1 or 2, but that right there shows you a strong interest on his part, and it also shows that Arkansas is doing their part in trying to get him to campus. But I think he's a guy that is definitely an impact player as a freshman. His skill level is elite, in my opinion. But I think Arkansas is in good shape. He said that when he originally got the offer from Arkansas, he grew up watching them, and I think he's always been a fan. So, as far as other schools, off the top of my head, I mean, obviously he's got many options, but I know I think he's visited Ole Miss and several others, but as far as where they are with him, I really couldn't tell you.
We'll leave it there, man. We appreciate your update this morning here on a recruiting, I guess, a What's Your Beef Wednesday, and we'll get some more recap and hopefully react to some more commitments next week in football.
All right, buddy. We'll see you guys.
All right, Richard Davenport joining us on the McClarty Daniel Hotline, 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville. A good deal is never too far away. You can find them online at McClartyDaniel.com.
All right, so basketball side. I asked him a basketball question at the tail end of the conversation to bring it back to Arkansas basketball. The question I have for you this morning on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, and I know many of you are beefing the way with this team and how they played through 14 games. Is it ever okay for Arkansas basketball ever under Muss to miss the NCAA tournament? Now, here was Muss yesterday talking about the DNA of his basketball program.
DNA of the program has been competitiveness, has been toughness, has been grit, or whatever you guys have written in the past or whatever opposing coaches have said about our team. And
which is exactly that, toughness. Bruce Pearl called Arkansas basketball 2 years ago the toughest team in the SEC. You were anything but that this past Saturday. Grit, finding ways to win, especially late. Now, again, we're one game into conference play, and I know people on a Hot Take Monday and yesterday on a Bandwagon Tuesday had a lot of takes, a lot of opinions, which is fine. That's what's great about Sports Talk Radio. But, again, the question I have for you this morning, is it ever okay for Arkansas basketball under Eric Musselman? I'm not talking about Mike Anderson, John Pelfrey, or Stan Heath. Under Eric Musselman to miss the NCAA tournament, which, I might add, in the last 4 years, both Bruce Pearl and John Calipari have done. They've missed the NCAA tournament. So 2 of the best and highly regarded coaches in this league that I would, again, as a non-homer, I'm not saying as of late, but overall, you would probably put Pearl and Cal above Muss based on their career and track record. So they've missed it. Is it okay for Arkansas to miss the NCAA tournament, which could happen this year?
So what are you really asking? Should Muss be on the hot seat if he doesn't make the tournament? I mean, what are you really driving at?
I'm asking you, is that okay for a one-off this year? I'm not driving. Hot seat's never been presented. It's never been brought up. They weren't on the hot seat when they missed the NCAA tournament, and it happened in 2021. So is it okay for Arkansas, who's made the NCAA tournament 3 years, has gone on 3 really good runs the last 3 years, is that okay for this team to miss?
What do you mean by okay? I don't think anyone's accepting it, saying, "Hey, it's fine, it's no big deal." I mean, yeah, it's problematic, but I mean, I think Muss bet on the wrong horses when he chose what he chose out of the portal. It's not that he didn't get talent; he just didn't get pieces that fit together. It appears right now. Now there's 17 regular season games to go and a tournament to play, a conference tournament to play. We'll see. All this discussion of, before the season of Final Four and hey, should we be thinking that, or a second weekend? Hell, you'll be lucky to make the tournament at this point. I think that's the reality we all have to come to. Is it okay to miss the tournament? I don't know that we've risen to the expectations that we should demand making the tournament 4 out of 4 years. I just don't think we've risen to that point as a program, despite the last 3 years that it should be some kind of foregone conclusion like Michigan State making the Sweet 16. I mean, we're not Duke. We're not UCLA. We're not Kansas. We're not Michigan State. I think if we miss the tournament, we just have to figure out why and regroup and go on.
Dennis in Springdale texted on the McClarty Daniel hotline saying that Eric Musselman has earned a mulligan. Eric in Greenwood saying to miss the NCAA tournament certainly would not be optimal, but it would not be the end of the world either. Now,
those are reasonable takes.
Muss is one of the higher paid coaches in college basketball, so oftentimes when losing happens in any of the 3 major sports, fans of not just Arkansas but anyone else throws that back in their face. So what will happen is if this team does not rally, not respond, and not figure it out, then that's going to get thrown back. Well, Muss is making all this money, so
if you'd have paid him more, you'd have made the tournament. I mean, that's just such a weak, hollow, low-hanging fruit argument. It's not thought out. I mean, I mean, so it's like Brock. I mean, this isn't a great analogy, but it's like Brock Purdy this year, not making any money, but his team is, in a great position to make the Super Bowl, perhaps. I mean, I just don't buy into, hey, if we'd only paid. I mean, because that's what you're saying. Well, he's making all this money and didn't get us the result we wanted. He didn't win enough for all the money we're paying him. Well, who thinks their coach would actually produce more wins if he was just paid more money? That's just not a well thought out argument.
Mm-hmm. And they did have a stinker on Saturday, and they're hoping that doesn't happen
Worse
again.
than that.
Yeah, it was again worst loss in Bud Walton history, but that's exactly what Eric Musselman called it.
Everybody in college basketball has one stinker. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens. Everybody has one. And some of our teams that have made Elite Eights and Sweet 16s have had multiple stinkers and have figured it out. Hopefully that game is not a pattern. Hopefully we played a ranked team, that we played pretty decent the first half. I probably subbed too early. When I go back and look at it, that thing was at 12. That's still striking distance. I let that thing play out for 30 minutes, and we hadn't dented into that double-digit lead. And
so he took some accountability there, maybe something that he made a mistake. But just remember...
Oh, when you lose by 32, there's blame to go all the way around.
And he said coaching as well. But I would like to bring up, and again, I was as disappointed on Saturday's performance as any of you, but I would like to bring up that the second year under Muss, when they went to Tuscaloosa and got rocked, and went to LSU and got rocked, I believe, back-to-back games, that team somehow, some way got the NCAA tournament. But what we keep coming back to is Moses Moody was on that team. Jalen Williams was on that team. Justin Smith, who's a G League guy, was on that team to this point. So there was a lot of talent at that time, and even Devontae Davis, who we've seen turn into the player that he has. So will this team again?
Hey, no one was saying this wasn't a talented enough team before the season. You weren't saying that after the Purdue exhibition game. No one was saying this team lacks enough talent after the Duke game. So, I mean, is this team void of talent, or are they not living up to the potential?
Zach is listening this morning. He says the league is an 8-big league routinely. It's not unreasonable to expect this team to finish in the upper half of the league every year. So if there's 14 teams in the top 7, when they move to 16 with Texas and Oklahoma, they'll basically get another addition. It would be closer to 9 or 10 teams each year they're going to be at this point. But to your point about the talent perspective, I still think this team has talent. Is it NBA talent? But I don't care about NBA. I care about college talent, because that's what you're playing in right now.
Correct.
You're not competing in the National Basketball Association. You're competing in college basketball. Your coach didn't forget how to coach. The guys just have to – it's just a matter of if these guys will adapt to what it takes to win. And it's not just the guys that came on campus this past offseason either. I mean, can you really look at this basketball team, whether it's – I know we always look at Devo first because he's the in-state kid and he's the 4-year player, Mekhi Mitchell, Jalen Graham. Can you really sit here and be honest with yourself that those guys have done everything what it takes to win that you felt like they've done the last couple of years? That hasn't necessarily been the case either. Devo's got to play better. Mekhi Mitchell's got to play better. These guys that have been on campus are just as culpable for the guys that came in the offseason to what's happened at this point.
Well, I mean, I don't know what just as culpable. I don't know what you mean by that, but
just as responsible.
Okay. When you look at this team, I don't believe they're void of talent. I don't believe this is a team that, maybe they don't have enough firepower to win the SEC regular season championship. I don't think this is a team that's not going to make the tournament, if that's indeed the fact. And we got 17 more SEC games to go, so I'm not ready to write this thing off by any stretch. But we're not going to look back and say, man, they just weren't talented enough. I just don't think that's right now the correct take. I just think the pieces to this puzzle won't fit together for whatever reason. That's what they have to figure out. Hey, Riley Farm Dental. They are at the entrance to Riley Farms in South Fort Smith. They provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, you name it, they do it. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives and a better smile and a more confident and comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. They now offer same-day crown service as well. 479-226-3500 for an appointment. 226-3500 or online at RileyFarmDental.com.
All right, when we return, still a lot to talk about, including more of our beefs coming up on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Join ESPN Arkansas in the Morning Rush in supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be raising money to help Arkansas Children's Northwest fulfill its promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. You can donate now through February 2nd online at hitthatline.com. Be sure to click on the Morning Rush fundraising link brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside Fayetteville Auto Park.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is the Morning Rush.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to espnarkansasdigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kymco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports. Keep it the good times rolling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Are you ready to work for one of the area's premier companies? If so, Forsgren wants to offer you a rewarding new career. Forsgren has been building the foundation of the River Valley for over 80 years. Forsgren is recruiting for experienced concrete finishers, equipment operators, truck drivers, and laborers. Forsgren is a destination point for men and women with a drive toward excellence. Join the Forsgren legacy. Apply now on any device, anywhere at goforsgren.com. That's goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 40s north, mid-50s south. Clear and cold tonight, and overnight low will drop down to near 30. Sunny skies on Thursday. Our high temperatures on Thursday in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather update is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, ready to serve you. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
I want to see good times again in March. We even had aspirations of April, but I don't think a NBA-type player is getting ready to emerge. The one guy that could do it is Trevin Brazell. Going to put on his big boy basketball pants and go.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text the Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
Yes, sir.
So Michigan won the college football playoff national championship earlier this week against Washington. Somewhat of a beef of mine, but evidently it was not probably the biggest beef that's played out with college football playoff. That would be some Florida State fans issuing death threats to the college football playoff selection committee members. We'll discuss that. More beefs coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Matchstick Studios and Modular Orange. Your website for your business is your 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year storefront. Remember the old days where you'd go window shopping and you'd look in and see the items that, you know, and the products and the services people provided through their storefront? Well, that's what your website is in today's world. Does your storefront look good? Is it inviting new business? Is it giving people confidence that you're the kind of company they want to deal with? If you need help there, turn to our friends at Modular Orange. For $95 a month, they'll write, design, launch, host, and secure your website and keep it up to date with your input for $95 a month. Call Jordan and his team, 479-755-3043, 755-3043, or see more details at modularorange.com.
So I guess I just shouldn't be surprised to see storylines like this anymore in 2024. But Bill Hancock said it's the strangest thing he's seen in 35 years. Again, the head of the college football playoff, who's set to retire, I think, next month, if I remember that right. Do you feel like they got it right after what we saw? I think you and I agree that Georgia is one of the best teams in the country and would have given Michigan a better matchup, if not beaten the Wolverines. But they did have to go through an SEC team.
So who would you have kicked at? If we agree Georgia should have been amongst the 4, who should have been the team that was in the 4, not there? Be hard to say Bama.
I think
the way that game went to overtime in the semifinal.
I think it's Bama. Well,
I mean, how do you come up with that conclusion?
Defend that.
I mean, if you look at the other teams, Texas beat Bama, so they should have the edge over Bama. Florida State, I think we all agree that they would not have been much of a.
No, I mean, look at the way Georgia beat them by 60.
Yeah.
So why would you
63-3.
Why would you put Georgia over the team that they just lost to in the SEC championship? Explain that.
Well, if we're saying Georgia, we're putting Georgia in. I still think it's Bama because, I mean,
why isn't it Washington?
Because they lost in the championship game for one. I mean,
Washington beat Texas. It's matchup situation. I mean, there's various things. I was surprised to see Georgia got ranked 3 in the. I was kind of thinking that they might move up to 2 in the final AP poll at this point. Did you have a beef with how the semifinals and finals played out? Because technically, this is the best one we've ever had, and it's basically a 10-year run when you combine all the scores.
What do you mean by technically it's the best one?
When you look at the scores.
Oh, okay.
Of the 3 games, this was the best. Now, the bowl season-wise, not so much. But when you combine the semifinals, and I know it ended up being about 3
bowl
touchdowns.
season doesn't matter like it did.
Yeah.
The only games that matter are the ones
I
at the
keep
end.
forgetting that Texas lost to Oklahoma. For some reason, I was thinking Texas was undefeated.
No.
Texas would make a lot of sense as well. I mean, if you look at the way they played against Washington, it was just a high-scoring affair. Wasn't much defense.
We can talk about this. It's not going to matter with the 12-team playoff. Georgia would have been in that 12-team playoff, and I believe Georgia would have probably. I keep making this argument that we're going to look up in 3 or 4 years. 4 years. There's going to be 4 semifinal years by then, right? 16 teams, and we're going to say, hey, it's been like 13 or 14 of those 16 teams were Big Ten or SEC. This whole idea of expanding to 12 and this parity is going to get more TCUs and Washington's in there, and of course Washington's going to be a part of the Big Ten, but I just don't think we're going to see more parity when it comes to the teams at the end. Yes, more parity with the teams that get in the 12-team format, but I think we're going to look up and we're going to say, man, of those 16 spots, it was only shared by 8 different schools or some number like that.
Because they have to include the top 4 conference champions. It's the number 1 group of 5 ranked team, right? And then there's 5 minus 12, 7 other non-qualifiers.
The conference champions, and I think that aspect will get adjusted moving forward. I don't think that part will stand. That we're going to put a team that might be 8 or 9 in the rankings, but won a Big 12 championship, and we're going to give them a bye. I don't know that that's going to hold water. How many years will that hold water?
I don't know what the I guess agreements can be amended. I don't know what the I can't.
I'm not talking about expanding. I'm just talking about the format of the playoff, of the 12-team playoff, and how they earn byes and how they're placed in the bracket.
What it was.
And it's just crazy to do what they're doing anyway. They should seed them 1 through 12 and go from there.
But to get to this point, they had to do it.
I know. But I think they – but when they agreed to all that, we didn't have the landscape we have today with the Big Ten and an expanded – well, we may have had an expanded SEC. I'm not sure about that either. But I know we didn't have the Big Ten we're getting ready to have.
Yeah. See, again, you basically shrunk it down to 4 conferences, so each conference will get at least 1. There's no 5 conferences anymore, so you just have 4. So there is equal representation, which I think was good.
Equal is not. This is a meritocracy, my man.
But
you should earn it, not just be given a birthright because you're a conference champion.
Yeah, but I would say that the conference champion of each of, if we're just doing 4 of 12, then those 4 teams that are selected.
So you
are
think
for
the new
best
Big
12.
12 conference champion, without an Oklahoma, without a Texas, more years than not, they're going to be equal to or similar to a Big Ten, ACC. I mean, the ACC and the Big 12, even with Texas and Oklahoma.
I would say there'd be one of the top. They'll be one of the top 12 teams in the country. In what you're arguing is the top 4.
They should be a top 4. They're given the benefit of being a top 4,
which they had to again to get to that point. I would say no to that question, but they are one of the top 12 teams in the country.
Well, I think we got to change. We got to see how it plays out for 3 or 4 years, and then we got to look at changing that.
See, I
think you're going to have some Big 12 champions that don't stack up to the other 3 or 2 of the 4 that are in there.
But it goes back to the old adage. It's why the Herm Edwards. It's why you play the game. Because I don't think anyone predicted TCU was going to beat Michigan last year. Not many. I don't think many people predicted Washington was going to beat Texas. That's why you play. I think.
I'm not saying don't play the games. I'm just saying don't give them an inside lane.
Well, what I would say is you talking about the same teams or whatever. I think we will have more of what we've seen the last 2 years in terms of teams getting to the said championship, but the Blue Bloods will still win them. We might, and I hope they're not blowouts. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we have a rotation of different teams. But I think it'll be more unique in the sense that team you didn't expect to make the college football playoff national championship gets there. They just don't have enough talent to get over the top. So I would disagree on that standpoint. But I hope it's, again.
Everybody, it kind of like in our boat. You're a Razorback fan. You hope an expanded playoff means you can be in as a 9 seed or a 10 seed or something, and then just get hot and prove your worth. But I think in the end, we're going to see the big boys are still the big boys when all the dust settles and all this. Brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Northwest Arkansas. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, have experience with paving or concrete labor experience, they have a job for you. Go to jobs.crh.com to apply. Great benefits, a sign-on bonus, insurance, retirement, and profit sharing all available. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
Got our Morning Rush Daily question and our conversation with Kobe Branham coming up.
I guess there's pros and cons to procreating.
Most of the pros are over at the very beginning of the process.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the Morning Rush.
How do I drive more traffic to my website? How do I increase my Google rankings? If these are just a few of the questions you have for your business, then we should talk. In addition to sports radio marketing, ESPN Arkansas can help your business be found online. From website design to geo-targeted campaigns, search engine marketing, social media management, streaming video campaigns, and much more. ESPN Arkansas is your digital marketing partner. Go to ESPNArkansasDigital.com for your free digital marketing audit or email us at sales@hitthatline.com to schedule an appointment.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news for the new year. Introducing Road Ready Certified used cars, inspected and certified with a comprehensive warranty. You simply can't buy a better used car. Road Ready Certified, only available at Rath Auto Resources. Another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey & Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey & Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today, 479-434-2414. Hickey & Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Subiaco and Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco and Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are you looking for a change of scenery? Lavorne Lumber is looking to hire a Class A CDL flatbed driver for a regional position. Lavorne Lumber is highly competitive in pay. Lavorne Lumber is a family-owned lumber and trucking company. Home most nights and every single weekend. Guaranteed. Lavorne Lumber has top-of-the-line equipment. If you're interested in the job, stop by Lavorne Lumber at 515 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith Monday through Friday from 9 to 4.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess. I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
So Jim Harbaugh is getting a tattoo after Michigan won the national championship. Talked about with his team that if we go 15-0, win the national championship, then he'll get a tattoo. So he's going to get it on his right or left shoulder. He has not decided yet to this point in time. So let's say Arkansas in football, basketball, baseball, one of the 3 sports. Maybe some of you have. I've actually talked to a few of my friends that after the 94 national championship still have tattoos from when Arkansas did win over Duke and Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's say it happened again, though, one of the sports. Would you get a tattoo like Jim Harbaugh did? Now, one of the punishments in our fantasy league in the past has been you've had to get a butt tattoo. It's part of it, and it's a brutal punishment. This year, a guy's got to take a Greyhound 24 hours there and back. Next year, it's going to be paintball 1 verse 11. So you can look at it as a punishment, or you can look at it as a badge of honor. I would probably end up, I don't know if I'd get it on my buttocks, but I would get probably a tattoo if Arkansas was to win a national championship, which I think they might do in baseball this year.
Well, that's awfully permanent if you get one. Does that mean he's coming back to Michigan, a permanent tattoo? So,
I don't think so. I still think he's gone.
Well, I don't know that I'd go as far as a particularly visible tattoo. I mean, that's anyway. But hey, championship. I like how he's hanging around, kind of enjoying the moment. I'm with you. I still think ultimately he is going to check out and go to the NFL because he's tired of all the other smoke and nonsense that's going on around him. But I agree. But he's taking at least a few days here to enjoy the parade, enjoy the moment, to live up with it.
See, we almost feel sorry for Jim Harbaugh to a certain extent, which a good chunk of the stuff that's gone on has been of his own doing or of people associated with him that he allowed or condoned or stuff to happen. I realize as a head football coach, you can't figure out everything going on within your football program. I'm well aware of that. But when there's video of Stallions next to Harbaugh on the sidelines and other things, like there's no way that did not get back to him or he was not a part of it in some way, shape, or form. Now, Michigan will spin it as, oh, he had nothing to do with it, he didn't know. But I don't believe that to this point. But I do think that is something that not just Arkansas fans, but fans will do. Michigan fans, again, will do that after they won this championship. Will get tattoos. You mentioned the permanent aspect. You just got to get in a place where it's not necessarily visible all the time. If you're going to get one, you've got to get, it's not on the face like B in Clarksville is advocating this morning. It's got to be a place that's not visible 24/7 that you can hide if you want to or need to.
There should be some kind of, people have a right to make their own mistakes, but there should be like multiple layers. Like, you buy a gun, you got to have a license, they got to do a background check, they got to do, waiting period, all these things. There should be something similar for a face tattoo. If you're going to get a tattoo above the neckline, well, you're going to have to fill out this form. We're going to have to look at the drawings. Your parents need to sign off on this. Your children need to sign off on this. There's going to be a breathalyzer test. There's going to be multiple steps involving a facial tattoo. That you multiple screening aspects of that. Are you really sure this is what you want to do? Yes, my team won the national championship. Put it right here on my neck.
Most coaches don't usually do that. I mean, Saban, if he were to do that, he would have tattoos all over him. I think he's just doing it because he knows it might get vacated, and he wants that reminder, constant reminder. And he's probably proud of it. But
do you think there's a chance if they find out more stuff that this thing does get vacated? I mean, we've seen this happen with various programs before seasons, games, or whatever. Tommy, you think that's a possibility?
To do what? What would be the possibility?
The championship to get vacated.
No. They're not going to do that. It's hollow anyway. You vacate a championship? What does that mean? Are you going to say, okay, well, Washington was the national championship. Go Husky. No. I mean, to me, you're taking away from those kids. You're taking away the 5, 10, 20, 25-year reunions. If you want to strip Harbaugh of something, you want to strip that out off of his record, his resume. You want to give a 3-year show cause penalty, take away basically the opportunity for him ever to return to college football. Fine with that. But don't. These kids still lined up. These players still lined up and beat everyone they were asked to beat. Can't take it away from them.
Then the argument could be made, well, should they have been there in the first place if there's, again, recruiting violations prior to
You can have someone's signals, but you still got to line up and whip somebody. You still got to block. You still got to tackle. You still got to make the play. And there ain't no signal that had anything to do with Penix being on his backside. There ain't no signals they were stealing that had anything to do with the control they had at the line of scrimmage the other night, particularly with their defensive line.
Yep. That's a great defense, one of the best defense we've seen probably the last decade or so, and a big part of not just the win over Alabama, but the win as of Monday night. Again, our Morning Rush Daily Question presented by Red River Dodge. If Arkansas won a national championship in one of the 3 major sports, would you get a tattoo?
All right, that's brought to you by Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
So we've had a chance the last few weeks to catch up with some Arkansas signees, including Fort Smith Southside Maverick, and Arkansas Razorback Kobe Branham, who was in studio with us yesterday. Here was our conversation with Arkansas's newest addition. Arkansas signee, former Fort Smith, I guess always Fort Smith Southside Maverick, Kobe Branham, in studio with us here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. And you're back in Fayetteville this week, man. It's kind of a transition from what used to go on during college football, high school kids going through their senior year, but you're trying to get up there, get in that college weight program, and get yourself ready as quick as possible.
Yes, sir. I think getting up there early that's a big advantage. You basically get an extra year before anybody else gets up there. You get to get used to the workouts, get used to how they're going to feed you and stuff like that. They're going to change your whole body before the whole rest of the people get up there in the summer.
Tell me what you've had to do the last couple of years to put yourself in this position, because obviously you're leaving high school, 3 to 4 months earlier than your classmates will. So coursework had to be done, a lot of other prep. How far out were you and your family planning to get you to this point where you could enroll early, and what did that look like?
So honestly, during my sophomore year, we had no intentions of graduating early. Honestly, we didn't even know that was a thing. And then after going to a couple of colleges and we heard that some people did that, we looked into it a little bit, and it wasn't too hard. I did a couple extra college classes to get it done. And then other than that, just working out 2 times a day to be able to fit in when I get up there and not be too far behind.
Let's go back to your high school season. Yeah, Fort Smith Southside hasn't, the last 4 or 5 years, been a competitor in the playoffs and really been at the top of the 7A West. This year it changed. You were a big reason why. Tell us about this season's journey with Fort Smith Southside and getting the Mavericks kind of back to the level, maybe not they'd been in the past, but certainly in the playoff hunt and a competitor in the West this year.
We started off hot, 3-0, and then we took some turns. I think we could play better in a lot of games. During the end of the season, I think we were starting to work together as a team. Defense was starting to click. I mean, and then that last game, our defense played their butt off. Can't blame it on them. I think if our offense worked a little harder during the season, I think we could have had a bigger playoff run for sure.
Kobe Branham's with us here on the Morning Rush, kind of reacting to high school and getting ready for Arkansas football. So you mentioned the food aspect. University of Arkansas has in terms of budget, the most spent on food of any college campus.
I believe that for sure.
Isn't that wild? So that's something to get used to.
I'm sure you've been in there on a recruiting visit, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so what's that like? It's got to be more than like going to Golden Corral.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of crazy. You go to all these colleges, and it's like, dude, I can't eat no more. Like, you fed me enough. But it's like everywhere you go, they're going to give you something to drink, something to eat. And then they have the new Jones Center, Jerry Jones Center,
right,
which is basically a big buffet of food that is good for you and food that you need to eat, and it's not going to be bad for you. So,
Kobe, we've got a chance to talk to some transfers like Fernando Carmona Jr. and then some guys that are coming in your freshman class. What conversations have you had with not just the in-state kids that you probably know personally from competing, but the guys that are out of state that are going to be with you this week?
I haven't spoken any with them, but they're good football players, and I'm ready to get up there and compete with them for sure.
You excited about this class that you guys have?
I am. I think it's going to be a change a lot.
I wonder from your vantage point, so going from high school to college is already a big step, but what has it been like for you to kind of watch how the recruiting has changed, where high school is still a big deal, but your head football coach, Sam Pittman's still going to bring in probably double-digit, maybe 20 transfer guys in to play with you guys next year?
I mean, yeah, that's how college football's turned, They like transfer guys, but I understand. I mean, I'd take a 2-year college guy than a high school kid. They have experience. It kind of sucks for some high school kids. It's kind of hurting recruiting a little bit. But if you're a good player, they're going to find you.
Arkansas Razorback Kobe Branham with us here on the Morning Rush. How has NIL changed? I mean, you're really kind of the first class that's gotten to see a few years of it. Now you're going through the process. You're talking to your teammates that are reporting this week with you. What are those conversations with your peers, with the others that are your age going in? What's the NIL process like for a guy like you?
It's different for every player. I'm not going to make as much as a quarterback's going to make. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen. But every school is paying people now. I mean, most schools are paying people a lot. I think it's a big part of football now. It's not what I care about, but it's there,
Yeah. As you watch the season unfold, obviously it didn't live up to the wins that Coach Pittman or anyone wanted for this program, but the offensive line was a center of conversation and how the season turned out. What were your thoughts on that, and what's the conversations been like, and how maybe you can factor in building that offensive line back in the next couple of years?
That was a big conversation as offensive line last year. Coach Kennedy was a great coach. I had a good relationship with him, but I think him going to Mississippi State was his best option and our best option. But getting Coach Mateos in here, he seems like a really good guy, a good coach, and I think he's really going to turn things around.
How much time have you gotten to spend with Eric Mateos at this point?
I talk to him all the time, and then he's came to my house a couple times, eat dinner. So
any fun stories from Pittman coming to your house, or any good recruiting stories? As Arkansas or any other schools been after you? Something fun that's happened or funny that's happened?
I thought it was pretty funny. So. Bobby Trino got hired about 2 days before he came to my house, so it was kind of awkward, But he was the first to recruit me when I was visiting Texas A&M and stuff. He offered me, so for him to come to my house and coach me, it's great.
Yeah. Kobe Branham, Southside Maverick, Arkansas Razorback with us here in the studio. All right, these first 8 weeks that you're up there, I mean, it's a grind in the off-season program. What are you expecting? What's that like? How do you survive it?
It's probably going to be the hardest 8 weeks of my life. I'm ready for it. I know there's going to be some ups and downs and stuff, but.
Where are you at now? 6'5"?
6'6", 330.
Have they told you kind of where they'd like you to be and what the plan is for you?
Coach Mateos was saying, like, that weight, it's going to change so much during this time that he's not really worried about it. And they'll get, like, when we do all these workouts and stuff, I'll be where I need to be.
We had a chance to catch up with one of your future teammates, CJ Brown, I guess current teammates, Bentonville wide receiver, and he feels at times that Arkansas high school football is disrespected by other states and other players. Do you kind of get that same sense, Arkansas high school football overall?
I mean, yeah, because everybody looks at schools in, like, Texas, California and stuff, and they got some powerhouses in Texas and Carolina. I think Arkansas football is pretty tough.
So
especially 7A.
Okay. Outside of football, like we've been discussing this morning, you're about to be a freshman on a college campus, and Fort Smith's 45 minutes from Fayetteville. It's not like you hadn't been up there before, but what are you looking forward to outside of football itself that you can just enjoy being away from home for the first time in 18 years?
I don't know, just going on my own, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hanging out with some friends and stuff, not really having a supervisor, but doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right, mom looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, just 24/7.
Is it nice? You're far enough away where she's not going to come pester you all the time, but if you want to go home, you can pretty much do it outside of the season itself.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's what I was talking to my dad the other day. It's like, what if we went somewhere else? It would suck. That's 6 hours away or across the country. You know? But that being 45 minutes away, I can come down on the weekends and stuff like that. Yeah. So it'd be nice.
So you took some other official visits and obviously got pursued by some other schools. I wonder from the different guys I've talked to, they've given different reasons. In-state kid obviously probably had a lot to do with it, but what was maybe the main factor that you're like, I'm committing to Sam Pittman, and obviously even a change in the line coach, you're still staying put here in Fayetteville?
You know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. Being 45 minutes away is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, everybody's got good facilities, so I really can't say that. And then a really big one is Coach Pittman. I think he's a great coach, good guy, and it's someone I want to work for sure.
What's the one college course you look forward to and the one course that you're going to be taking this first semester that, I don't know about this, I'm dreading this one?
All of them. I'm majoring in biology, so it's not going to be easy at all. So.
Stepping up.
Yeah.
Why biology?
I'm going to go to med school after I get done with all this.
I always say the linemen are the smartest guys on the team. So.
Jeez Louise.
That's the best feature, but I have all the tools. I have all the tutors and stuff to get it done. So.
Well, best of luck. Sounds like you got a great plan, good head on your shoulders. We look forward to watching you in the years to come at Arkansas.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And that's Arkansas offensive lineman Kobe Branham, who took time out of his day yesterday to talk with us a little bit. Sounds excited, getting to campus this week, and we'll see what kind of impact he has moving forward with this Arkansas Razorback football team. Tommy.
Yeah, fun interview, a fun conversation, and going to be, like you said, the toughest 8 weeks, but a challenging 8 weeks ahead of him with this transition. But going to be fun to watch his development. Hey, we're brought to you by the Cottages at the Park in Buffington Homes. The Cottages at the Park is the newest community from Buffington Homes and is one of the most convenient places to live in all of Northwest Arkansas. It is on the north side of Springdale, steps away from the newly constructed Shaw Family Park. What people love most about Springdale is it's close to everything. You're 15 minutes from Fayetteville, Rogers, and Bentonville, and the Cottages at the Park is close to the area's largest employers like Tyson Foods and J.B. Hunt. The U of A, Walmart home offices, all just minutes away. And we've been telling you about Arkansas Children's Northwest throughout this week. It's just minutes away from the Cottages at the Park. You're going to find a variety of different floor plans, both 1- and 2-story homes that are perfect for all of life stages. There are several available homes being built right now that will be ready here in the first quarter and first half of this year. Hey, to learn more about the Cottages at the Park, visit BuffingtonHomesAR.com/Hog Radio. That's BuffingtonHomesAR.com/Hog Radio. They're helping you build a life you'll love with the Cottages at the Park by Buffington Homes.
So I've had a few beefs this morning. The Kansas City Chiefs-Miami Dolphins game on Peacock. We heard that certain Florida State fans had a beef with Bill Hancock in the college football playoff and sent death threats, which we know is over the top. Another beef of mine is kind of what's going on with Arkansas Edge to this point. Now, right now, you have a top 10 transfer portal class. It looks solid to this point. But I want you to listen to this Arkansas Edge video and tell me if something stands out to you like it did to me.
NIL has changed the way our program operates in a lot of ways, and in my opinion, a lot of positive ways.
Having NIL to be able to talk to the student athletes about is huge for recruiting.
It's helping our players understand what the real world is like. They're becoming businessmen.
They're learning a lot of new life skills and ways to organize their professional lives and their careers.
Our program has come so far, and there's another layer that we need to get to, and Arkansas Edge is going to give us the opportunity to reach that.
What is now drawing recruits to a certain program, in part, is NIL, where they're going to have.
So it goes on for another minute or so, and if you want to watch it, they've got it on their social media accounts. But what stood out to me is in this video, and I don't know whose mistake it was, but it was a mistake, and it's a beef of mine this morning. There's no head football coach. Sam Pittman is not in this video whatsoever. Your football coach has to spearhead your NIL effort, whether he wants to or not. Now, I don't know if that was a Sam Pittman thing. I know he's been busy last couple weeks. I don't know if that was a mishap on Arkansas Edge itself. I don't know whose fault it was. But you've got to have your head football coach front and center, whether he likes it or not, whether Juracek likes it or not, to be in the front of this. And again, I mentioned, I'll give them credit. They're top 10 right now in transfer portal rankings, according to 247 Sports. But anything from now on, he needs to be front and center. He needs to be promoted. I know they had a bad season. I realize that. But you have to push it from football within. That's where it starts. The other sports, I get they've had success. But that is where the effort needs to be, again, come from initially, and then go from there.
I'd love to counter you. I mean, the only thing I could say is it is basketball season. Maybe you expected a little more from your basketball program in terms of performance. And Musselman's, I think, is high profile in this state. But everything you're saying is right. You've got to raise the majority of the money for your football program. Your head football coach needs to be out there. Now, right now, it is. Let's just think about it from a business perspective. Does Sam Pittman give you confidence as a university, as an organization, putting him front and center? Is he the one that can raise the money when people look and think and contemplate whether to write a check, personally, professionally through their organization, through NIL, because that's two different things. But with this Edge program, they're asking common Joe like me and you to sign up for $50, $100 a month. Is he the one that gives you the motivation to push you over the edge to do that?
You've got,
but everything you're saying is right. Your football coach has got to find a way to lead that charge.
You've got Deifel, DVH, Moss, Weber. I mean, he's got to be in there. Those are probably the five, and even Neighbors got to be the 5 or 6.
I'd love to know more about the backstory on that. Was he part of the video production, and somehow that got, these things, we think that it's all choreographed and put together. And sometimes, they shoot these things in different segments and pieces. And then when it gets edited and put together, it didn't quite come out the way you were, or at least this version of it didn't come out quite the way you were hoping.
They have not done a great job posting consistently. If they're smart, they'd run radio ads to pump it out to sports fans within the state. If you want to speak to me, you can do so at tyler.richardson@hitthatline.com. I'll suck up that commission real quick. But
I'll send you a bill for that ad.
No, that's free plug. Yeah. So, for example, Michael Penix, Washington, they had this NIL collective called Montlake Futures. Excuse me. They brought back everyone. And we saw what Washington was able to do after a great season last year. So it works. It's working in Oxford, Mississippi right now, who, by the way, the head football coach in Oxford doesn't like NIL, has been boisterous about it, but knows he has to use it to capitalize on it. And again, I will once again say that Arkansas, from a transfer portal team rankings, is in the top 10, so they've done a good job. but they've got
Is that because of the NIL, though?
I just don't think Pittman can pretend that he likes it.
100%. Well, Kiffin does.
I know, but not everybody can pretend that they like something or even advocate for it.
They haven't, to my knowledge, hired an executive director for Arkansas Edge. That also has to be resolved.
But do you think the top 10 portal ranking is a result of NIL funding?
Almost 90% sure, yes. I mean, I'll never fully know.
What high profile? I mean, exactly. What high profile transfer have you gotten out of the portal that would have, required that 7-figure
surplus
investment?
of money? That's again a good question, but I don't think you'd be outside or within the top 10 if you didn't have that money to accompany it.
Maybe. Hey, winter rates are in effect at Gaston's White River Resort. Now's a great time to book during the winter months, which I think is some of the best fishing on the White River. Gaston's has special rates in these months where, fewer go because of the weather, and they've got more available cabins and lodges. So find out about winter rates that are in effect the first quarter of the year when you call 870-431-5202. Great discounts on lodging, plus February, the restaurant reopens, and you can get a great guided fishing trip as well. Winter rates in effect, Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
This is former Razorback Philip Moon, and you're listening to The Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always,
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered.
Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Razorbacks in our championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So the Arkansas basketball staff has been hard at work as of late. They got there at 6:30 Sunday morning, following a 32-point blowout loss to Auburn, trying to figure things out.
Our staff was in here all day yesterday, starting at about 6:30 in the morning, many of us, on a Sunday, on an off day. Like, we're going to keep going. I mean, some of the text messages have been really cool from former assistant coaches on times we've struggled. And, you know, David Patrick sent a long text, and Gus Arginal's been sending text messages, and we're not going to just do the same thing over and over, and we're not going to stop tinkering and trying to get better. I mean, there's a lot of former players that have been texting in the last 24 to 48 hours that have said, hey, coach, been there, figure it out.
Hopefully they figure it out starting tonight. 8 o'clock start time, ESPNU right here, starting at 7:30 pregame with Chuck and Z as they're down in Athens, Georgia, in Stegman Coliseum, a place that you've had some success. You lead the all-time series 26-16. You've only are down 3 games in Athens, and you've won 10 of the last 13, including 3 straight. So hopefully they'll have some success against Mike White and company later on tonight. And you just think about this game. You don't want to get into an 0-2 hole in conference play. Auburn got another win last night against Texas A&M. I know they've started out strong. Alabama beat South Carolina. Kentucky beat Missouri. And then LSU beat Vanderbilt are some of the games they have tonight. Only 3 games SEC-wise tonight, Tommy. Tennessee against Mississippi State in Starkville, and then Florida taking on Ole Miss in Oxford. So those are the 3 games we have SEC-wise tonight.
Yep, and I think we're starting to turn that attention to it. And late game tonight, obviously, got to get a little power nap or something in today, but it's a team that desperately needs a win, not just because you're 0-1 in the league. 0-2 is not insurmountable. You said last year they started 1-5. They just need some confidence. They need a little swagger. A road win tonight would be a huge step, obviously, in the right direction.
And I want to believe that this team has had and will have similar failures and successes as we saw. Last year's teams, it was more due to injuries. Not that injuries haven't played a little bit of a role, but not really this season. They, again, just about galvanize and figure this thing out. You got talent. I don't think this is a talent-deprived team. Is it as NBA talent raised last year? No, you got 4 guys in the league right now. Of course not. But there's college basketball talent equivalent to being a top 6 program in the SEC, which would get you, in turn, an NCAA tournament berth for the 4th consecutive year. Just got to figure it out, man. And we'll see if they start tonight in Athens, Georgia. That is going to do it for your Hog Update this morning. It is brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, we got some good NFL games this weekend. I'm, again, frustrated this morning on a What's Your Beef Wednesday that Peacock is hosting the Miami Dolphins at Kansas City Chiefs game. It's going to be cold in Arrowhead this weekend, this Saturday night. I will not be watching, though, unless someone else has it. I will not be paying for it, to be clear. But Super Bowl matchup, Tommy, I think you and I can both agree the best Super Bowl matchup for our audience would be the Dallas Cowboys against the Kansas City Chiefs. But what is the one you actually want to see? I know there's a difference between what our audience would enjoy and what what you actually want. What would be your prime Super Bowl matchup that you'd wish for?
Well, the Chiefs are an interesting pick, but they hadn't played well all year. Really, who are the teams that are playing the best right now? And that game that, I don't know, it was around Christmas, so I don't remember if it was a Sunday or a Monday night, whenever it was, but it was that Ravens 49ers game was really a really good football game for 3+ quarters. So I'd have a hard time finding a better matchup, really, right now than I think Ravens 49ers.
I've got a couple, and I don't think this one's either of these are likely to happen, but I think Steelers Cowboys.
Ooh, yeah.
And then
that would be epic.
Lions.
Epic brands, yeah.
Lions and Browns, just because of their history and them not being good at all. I mean, I know the chances
they
are
give
probably
everybody hope for everything in life.
1%. Yeah. I mean, even one of those teams making it.
I like what you're thinking there.
I think the Browns making it to the Super Bowl would be really entertaining. Joe Flacco would probably have to go through Baltimore to get to that point, which, as the former quarterback, that would be crazy. To me, if I could wave a magic wand and say, this is the Super Bowl in 2024, the second weekend of February, out of the AFC, I would select the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is one of the most exciting players in all of football. I love the connection that he sometimes shares with Stephon Diggs. Sometimes they're at each other, but other times it's fantastic. Bills Mafia, I know they made it 4 times in the 90s. Jim Kelly and company weren't able to close it out. And then on the NFC side of things, it's still the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but you talk about a huge brand in Dallas and the biggest brand in our market, in our listing area, and the fact that Jimmy Johnson just got named to the Cowboy Ring of Honor. And you pair that with one of the most exciting teams in football at times, a team that always plays well right before the playoffs, hasn't gotten over the hump just yet because they've run into Kansas City, unfortunately, for Josh Allen. I, like you, Kansas City has not been playing well.
We just saw that game a couple of weeks ago, and it wasn't close.
They have Super Bowl history, too.
But you just brought up the San Francisco-Baltimore game, which was a massacre. So I just because a rematch or just because a game was played recently doesn't mean that game
neutral field, it would be a lot closer.
I think that would be a really good game. Neutral. Is it in Vegas? I'm forgetting where the side of the Super Bowl is this year. It is in Vegas this year. I just think that the pizzazz of Jerry in Vegas, who was, again, the arch leader and the linchpin in getting a team to Las Vegas to begin with, and you pair that up with the Buffalo Bills, I think that's the Super Bowl matchup that I would really enjoy, because I would say, Tommy, I don't know what percentile of your friends are Dallas Cowboy fans, but I would say near 75% of my friends who predominantly live in the Dallas area are Dallas Cowboy fans.
The ratings would be through the roof.
Oh, my gosh.
I've always thought that, like, you may not like the Cowboys, but if you want to watch a Super Bowl where everyone's into it, I mean, the Cowboys being in it, really no matter who they're playing, but I think the Bills would be a good matchup because they've played before. They've beat them twice and the Bills are probably wanting to get over that hump too. And
you mentioned the historical. I mean, you're going back 30+ years, but yeah, I mean, there's history between Bills and Cowboys. I mean, I think just anything involving the Cowboys is good for the sport because the hype going for 2 weeks with Jerry Jones, the Cowboys, America's team, that'd be awesome. I like what Big C said. Steelers, Cowboys, that there's history there too, but that would be, what was that, 95? That was the Switzer Super Bowl. Am I remember that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think Mason Rudolph's getting the start for them this weekend. So we got Tyler Greenwood texting on the McCarty Daniel hotline. He's saying Chiefs, Cowboys. Michael and Cave Springs, Texans versus the Lions. Jamie May, Baltimore. Better hope that Pittsburgh does not get past Buffalo because he feels like they could beat him. Jason from Mountain View agrees with me. He likes the Bills and the boys. And then JT in Hot Springs thanks me for jinxing his Dallas Cowboys. So it'll be, again, playoffs start this weekend. Stagger them up Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well.
We're brought to you by The Fence Man, the company we trust with any fencing project. They're looking for people to add to their team with The Fence Man. They're taking applications right now at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. If you've got fence building skills, welding skills, carpentry skills, they got a job for you with great pay as well. 782-3936 or 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith for The Fence Man.
Join ESPN Arkansas in the Morning Rush in supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be raising money to help Arkansas Children's Northwest fulfill its promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. You can donate now through February 2nd online at hitthatline.com. Be sure to click on the Morning Rush fundraising link brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside Fayetteville Auto Park.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Attention homeowners. Winter is here and so is the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Your chance to upgrade your home with Leaf Guard's exclusive offer. We're on the lookout for 50 savvy homeowners to join our Winter Savings event. Now this offer is for new orders only and doesn't include material costs, but you contact our knowledgeable sales associates for all the details. Drum roll, please. All right, that's a one-handed drum roll. It's just not the same thing. But 50 lucky homeowners will enjoy an amazing half off on labor for a complete Leaf Guard system. Yeah, that's right, half off. But that's not all. Inquire about our 18 months no interest financing. Also have special discounts for seniors and military personnel. With a minimum purchase and approved credit, your dream upgrade is within reach. Imagine a spring without muck and mud and shingle grit. Leaf Guard gutters are the only true one-piece seamless covered gutter system on the market, guaranteed to never clog. Check us out at 501-664-5400 or visit LeafGuardandMore.com to secure your spot in the 2024 January Winter Savings Sale. Leaf Guard, your ticket to a worry-free home this winter.
This is the Morning Rush.
Subiaco in Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco in Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. I want to talk about their pizza today. The Goob Special with extra pepperoni and rib rub on top. The Parm Special with double mushroom and jalapenos. Don't forget about the bacon cheeseburger and everyone's favorite, the old trash can. Swing on by Papa's Pub and Pizzeria at 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith or give them a call at 479-783-9941. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith. Perhaps the world.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials. Tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com. ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our temperatures this afternoon will be in the upper 40s north, mid 50s south. Clear and cold tonight, and overnight low will drop down to near 30. Sunny skies on Thursday. Our high temperatures on Thursday in the low 50s north, upper 50s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather update is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, ready to serve you. You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I want to see good times again in March. We even had aspirations of April, but I don't think a NBA-type player is getting ready to emerge. The one guy that could do it is Trevin Brazell. Going to put on his big boy basketball pants and go.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Call or text The Morning Rush on the McClarty Daniel hotline. With 6 locations in Springdale and Bentonville, a good deal is never too far away.
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
So that was Tommy and I talking yesterday about the state of the basketball team, which a beef of many of you this morning, according to our McClarty Daniel hotline, is that they haven't figured it out. Now, we are just one game in through conference play, but Tommy did ask a good question, brought up a good point. If you pose the idea of, hey, who's the best player on the team to 100 people in our audience, you get a lot of different answers. Trevin Brazell, I hope, picks it up these next few weeks in conference play because he has the most NBA-ready body, NBA-ready skill set, and I think he could showcase it a little more from time to time. We'll get Clay's thoughts coming up, not just on this basketball team, Dan Hampton in the College Football Hall of Fame, and some other college football stuff to get to shortly.
Brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices at Wheels RV. Plus, you'll get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. You'll get the confidence of a great parts and service department that stands behind your RV. Plus, you'll never have hidden fees that get tacked on at the end that really just drive up the price, drive up your payment for no reason at all. Document prep fees, setup fee, cleaning fee, all these other things. They don't add any of that at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
I have just one question for you. Are you ready?
I've been ready for this my whole life.
Here he is. The Clay Henry.
Clay, how are we on this beautiful, cold Wednesday morning, my man?
I'm in a warm spot, so that's good. Yeah.
Got the heater on next to you?
It's it's central heat, so it heats the whole house, as most places do.
And them electric meters going to be spinning next week. Them gas meters, the propane tanks going to be getting overtime, man. It is going to be freezing cold. I mean, below zero next week.
Just a poll. What is y'all's house at temperature-wise right now? Ours is at 68.
70, 71.
70, 71. What about you, Clay? What are you?
I think it's at 69.
Okay. All right, so we've got somewhere.
70 is kind of the threshold. It's like I put it on 70. I feel like I'm burning money.
Starting to burning money, starting to get a little hot. My grandmother, when I always go back to town in Little Rock, she keeps hers on like 74 or 75 because she's frail, doesn't have a lot of body mass or anything. So you get older, you get colder, but
circulation issues, baby.
Yeah, that is something you have to deal with. Well, Clay, this basketball team's having some issues. Again, a dreadful performance against Auburn. What have you kind of, through 14 games, what have you put your finger on some of the issues of this team, and are they fixable in the next 17 conference games?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that there's 20 different things that can go wrong, and at times that, they do them all wrong. I mean, they sometimes they're not sharing the ball. Sometimes they're sharing it too much. The first half of the Wilmington game, I mean, they were trying to do that drill where you pass it, in half a second or whatever. It was hot potato, and they had 12 turnovers in the first half. Well, obviously they took that to extreme. The coach wanted more passing. They overpassed it. So they don't really understand all the little things. I mean, they don't, and I would argue that they don't have any player ready for the NBA. You coming into this hour, set it up that Brazil was the most ready for the NBA. Well, he's long and he can shoot. But he's not, doesn't have an NBA body. He does not have the ability to bang. I mean, that in that league, you go out there and with that body, they're gonna bang you into the first row. Those are men, grown men, and he's still, you mentioned your grandmother. Sometimes he still looks frail, like he don't want to get in there and mix it up. Now he'll go up and get a ball, he'll go up and rebound in some times when you think, well, he has unbelievable talent, but it's not a physical banging style that you've said all along that Arkansas's had a four-man, that could do that under Musselman.
So you think about kind of that aspect, having a little dog, having a little want to. Last three guys that I think of last 3 years, Jalen Tate, second year, J.D. Note the year after, and then I would say last year would be Anthony Black. Is there any guy like that with that mentality, Clay, in your opinion, in this basketball team?
I don't really see that. I thought that's what Tremont Mark was going to be, like a Jalen Tate. He's got a little bit of length, can cover, and he has a little bit of offensive game. Jalen Tate showed us that he could go get, baskets for you when you needed them.
Mm-hmm.
But he hasn't developed like that, and maybe it's because he hurt his back. I don't know. He was making a move, when we got to Atlantis, and he hurt his back, and he hasn't been the same since then. And I don't know. Back injuries are really debilitating at times, and if you've ever had one, just getting out of bed is an issue. So I don't see anybody like that. And Devo has not been remotely what he was, at times last year. I mean, it just don't see him being able to cover and stay in front of guys. I mean, and you would have never said that about him last year.
Yeah, and I think with Devontae Davis, he is tasked most games, if not every game, to guard the best player. But Tommy, I agree with Clay. He has not been the same defender.
He could do that last year.
Yeah. I mean, Brandon Miller, I think, scored 3 points in the first half in the game in Fayetteville this last season, and then he, I think, hit 2 threes. But most of the time, Devo the last 3 years, especially the last 2, has shut down the best player in the first and second half, and I feel like it's the guards that are killing Arkansas this year.
Yeah. So it's not. No, they're not killing them. It's collectively. They're the whole team. I mean, as far as power forwards, post guys, that there's nobody that's you can say they've carried the load that they're supposed to carry. There's not anybody. You can't say it's the guards. Now they're playing a lot of guards, so you have that feeling. But if I was going to say what happened in the Auburn game, I would say they got whipped inside. They didn't carry anything. The points in the paint, whether it be Mitchell, whether it be Graham, and I see some guys that I think, all right, they can play offense like Graham, but you can't play him. You can't afford to play a guy that's not going to defensive rebound, and he's playing the 5 or the 4, and he's not going to stop somebody in the paint. I mean, it looks like he just freezes and is like, well, I don't know if he's going right or left. Well, he can go right or left because it doesn't really matter with him. And I'm not trying to pick on him. I mean, I think, everybody that's watched the basketball team realizes that he's an offensive guy, but he's not much on defense and not much on rebounding. And with this head coach, that doesn't work.
If we'd have stood outside Bud Walton on Saturday before the game, I don't think after the game you'd have got any good answers. But how many?
There wasn't anybody there.
Well, but if we'd ask 100 fans that pay attention, that watch this team, hey, who's the best player on the team? How many different answers do you think we'd have got?
Well, I think it would be Arkansas basketball fans are pretty smart, and I think they would tell you we don't know.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Because last year it would have been Anthony Black. Well, it should have been Moody in most people's opinion going into the year, but it turned out to be Anthony Black to really be your best player the vast majority of the season, right?
Yeah,
I think the problem this year, you just don't have, and it should be Trevin Brazile. He's, I believe, the most athletically gifted, the most talented basketball player potentially on this team. But I think therein lies your problem. You just don't have the one guy that is the dog, the go-to guy. 12 seconds to go down one. Who we drawing the play up for? You don't have that guy right now.
Yeah, so when you say he's the most athletically gifted, he can run up and down the floor. He's fluid. He can jump, and he's got long arms. So he can play above the rim. But as far as being athletically gifted, I mean, I think just about everybody can dribble around him. I mean, you just remember how many times they've had a 3 or a 4 and they said they could guard anybody. Well, he can't guard anybody. He can't guard somebody on the post. He's going to get knocked around. And if he gets on a switch with a smaller, quick guy, that guy laterally will be quicker than he is. So there's not anybody that I would say, has everything that you need and is, ready for the NBA player. They're just not anybody like that. And I don't see enough guys that can stop the ball. I mean, it just, and it's like, well, you help defense. Well, when they help, then they leave a 3 open. And it seems like every time they have, the other team's made the 3. And that's the way it is. And, in the SEC now, if you leave a guy open, he will make the 3.
So we've shared a lot of more negative side of things of this basketball team the first 10 minutes with you, Clay. Are there any positives that you've seen that would lead you to believe this team can go on a run like the last 3 years, or are we pretty much set in stone that this is not an NCAA tournament team?
Well, it's not an NCAA tournament team right now. Can it change and become one? I don't know. I haven't seen enough pieces to think yes. I think their last game will be when they lose in the SEC tournament. I mean, somebody said, well, the NIT. Well, the NIT is the next – I mean, it's not the way it used to be. The NIT once was, can you host 3 games, and how will you fill them up? They don't care about that now. The NCAA selection committee fills the NIT. Is that right, Tommy?
That's correct.
Yeah, so they go with the next group that's borderline to get in. That's who makes it.
And if you're a regular season conference champion that did not get your tournament bid from your conference, you're in.
Yeah,
automatically.
They take all those teams that are deserving, but they're not going to. They're trying to make them happy.
But what's the point of playing in that anymore? I mean, that's generally to build for next year. Young guys, hey, these are the returners for next year. We're going to get some extra practice. That's not even the way it is here anymore.
Yeah, I don't know
what would be the
purpose
point?
Is. Yeah, I guess it's the purpose that that they're going to give some filler for ESPN. And I mean, that's why the bowls exist. That's probably why the NIT exists now, just filler for ESPN. They don't have the NCAA tournament, so they get the NIT. CBS and True and TBS have the NCAA tournament. ESPN does not. So those guys got to work somewhere, Tommy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just saying from you used to, hey, we were a bubble team. We didn't quite make it. We weren't, but we're going to build for next year. I just don't think there's any building for next year anymore.
Your knowledge and memory it used to be this. It used to be a hell of a tournament because there were only 24 teams in the NCAA. You don't remember then,
It used to be the tournament. It used to be the tournament to win.
Yeah, and as far as Nolan Richardson, he's pretty proud of that NIT championship. They beat Syracuse in Madison Square Garden, and I mean that's something to remember. I think a lot of people forget who they beat in the NIT, and it was pretty good basketball at that particular time. It's not right now. I mean, it's like the Gasparilla Bowl. I mean, it's just so here's the one thing that I'll say that we have with Arkansas basketball right now. I don't think anybody's given up because their memory's too short on what Eric Musselman has done in the past. Can he do it again? Maybe. I mean, there are pieces on this team where you look at and say, "Oh, he's a good player," but it flashes. It's not sustained. Yeah. So, but the things that they have to do is they have to stop the ball, they have to defensive rebound, they have to go on the floor for loose balls, they have to get in a defensive stance and act like they want to play defense every single time. That has to be part of their identity. And it's just the opposite now. It is the lack of that identity that dooms this team. Everybody in the SEC is trying in basketball, and I've heard people say, "Well, Texas A&M doesn't." No, they're trying. Buzz Williams is a good coach, and they went out and got him, and they have a good team, so they're trying. Mississippi State got a good coach; they're trying. Ole Miss, I think they've got a terrific coach in Chris Beard, and and the team they're going to play tonight with Mike White, I think he's a terrific defensive coach. And if Arkansas goes in there and they don't, chomp down on the bit, play hard on defense, Georgia's going to beat them just, in similar fashion to what they lost Saturday. Because this is the same type, physical. They've got 3 or 4 guys that play in the paint that can bang, and that's Mike White's basketball identity. It's going to be like that every week in the SEC. There's not any easy touches. There's nobody. South Carolina is surging. It's not going to be easy. And everybody says, well, how can they get to 10-8? Well, can they get to 4-14? I mean, tell me the games that they're going to win. I can't just sit here and say they're going to win this game and this game and this game and this game and that's going to get them to 500. I don't see that right now.
Hey, give me just a second before we head back to the phones to tell you about the Hangout. It's Fort Smith's newest fitness center and a whole lot more. Ty and I have been going there to get our workouts in, and let me tell you why you want to choose the Hangout. If you're tired of going to the gym you're at now and you're constantly having to wait on the one machine or the treadmill that you want to use, if you're tired of, hey, the place you go is not real clean and you don't see anyone taking care of the facility, or the locker room is non-existent, or it's not clean as well, or it doesn't offer everything you want, you should head over to the Hangout. It's 8,000 square feet of fitness and a whole lot more. Not only do they have the largest fitness center with the newest equipment and the cleanest environment that you'll find to work out in Fort Smith, but they also have indoor pickleball, indoor tennis, and a lot more racquetball as well that you're going to love and enjoy. They got pickleball leagues right now, so get together with a group of friends or form a group to have some pickleball leagues. They got several great groups you can join right now if you want to do that. The Hangout has group and individual fitness training along with more options that are coming soon. So if you're looking for a new place to work out that's affordable, that's got family plans, individual plans, all-inclusive plans, they've got it with the Hangout. 5400 Gary Street in Fort Smith, or see these affordable rates at The Hangout, THE, The Hangout, FS.com for more information, including pickleball league opportunities. Be a part of something different. Be a part of something better that Fort Smith is needed. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Early in the program, we were talking about Arkansas and the transfer portal. It's got a top 10 ranking according to 247 right now. Brian in Greenwood has called in. He's got some thoughts this morning. Brian, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, guys. How you doing today?
Good, man.
Hey, almost every morning I drive to work, I hear you, Ty, talking about the top 10 transfer portal class, and you're not wrong, but it kind of irks me and gets underneath my skin every time I hear it. So if you bear with me, I got a little comparison to give you. If Sally has 10 apples in her bucket, and she goes out and collects 10 apples, and she's the 10th best in the country, so she's got 20 apples now, but she's got a hole in her bucket. So on her way back home, she loses 15 apples. So now she's only got 5. She's worse off than when she started. Now, to compare that to the transfer class, Sam Pittman goes out and collects 62 stars, 10th best in the country. That's great. But he has a hole in his bucket. He lost 86 stars, okay? Some of those stars we collect are from Michigan State, never saw the field. Texas A&M wide receiver, never saw the field. We lost 62 stars of starters that have SEC talent, okay? If you want to compare that to the rest of the SEC, we're the Kmart, okay? We're bankrupt. We're hemorrhaging talent and stars where Ole Miss and Missouri is Walmart. They're gaining stars. So I just hate feeling, we got a top 10 transfer class. That's great. We're not better than we were. That's my opinion. How do you feel?
Well, Brian, I think there's some truth to what you just said, and if you want probably a more accurate representation of the transfer portal, I would cite On3 Sports, which has Arkansas at 19. Now, that calculates, as Richard Davenport told us earlier, the transfers in and transfers out, and I would probably agree with you. To this point, they probably not added as many pieces in as that have departed. Now, we still have the cycle. We always forget, again, you add more pieces down the stretch, you lose them all up front. Yes, there's a spring transfer portal cycle where you could lose some more pieces, but guys, to this point, I don't have any pushback on Brian's opinion that you've lost more than you gained at this point, because I think he's accurate.
Yeah, I think when you look at the way college sports is, you lose players every year. I mean, you lose them to graduation, so you're always replenishing, and that's just the nature of the beast.
And Sally, what would he say? Sally had a bucket full of apples, and apples are great.
I like apples.
But maybe I need peaches. Not every player on the football team is an apple. Sometimes we need, an orange, or we need a pear, because that's what we don't have any pears. We don't have any oranges. So sometimes it's not just about, hey, we got plenty of apples over here, but right now we need offensive linemen. Right now you need linebackers more than probably anything, Clay. And sometimes it's about filling needs, not necessarily stars.
Yeah, I think that the most pressing need on this team was offensive linemen, and it might be that you're still short with a defensive lineman or two because you lost a lot there. But the guys that they lost on the offensive line, they there's nobody fretting about any of those losses. It's all about what you can go bring in with the transfer portal. I mean, I don't think they lost stars there.
Yeah.
But it's about blocking and tackling, and I mean, I don't get caught up in the stars. So I don't care if you're talking about apples and oranges. I want guys that can play.
Got to fill those needs as well, and I think that's one thing you're looking at, Ty, is it's one thing to lose stars, but you got to fill the spots on your roster.
Well, speaking of stars, Dan Hampton was quite a star here at Arkansas. Finally out of the College Football Hall of Fame. We'll get Clay's thoughts on that coming up, as well as more beefs. Yes, Stumhouse still have more beefs this morning, including what's going on in Detroit this weekend.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
Call or text the McClarty Daniel hotline at 877-377-6963. McClarty Daniel, a vehicle for every lifestyle.
When you're looking for a new car, you want to shop for a vehicle you love with an organization you trust. You've probably heard that McClarty Daniel means making deals, but what I'm inspired by the most is that McClarty Daniel means making a difference in our community. When you buy a vehicle with McClarty Daniel, you reinvest right here in the community, in our schools, in our little leagues, in our food banks, and our people. So you're not just making a purchase, you're making a difference too. Come see us at any of our 6 locations in Northwest Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
If you hope heaven has a bar, it's guaranteed that you'll be bounced and barred. Heaven is reserved for those who have put their hope in God's Word. Jesus said you must be born again by trusting in Him, or you won't see the kingdom of heaven. God set the bar so high, that's why Jesus had to die. If you refuse God's last call, the Holy Spirit will serve you a fireball. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.
Looking for an African adventure without the hassle of planning? Kruger Safari Club has got you covered. Our custom hunting and safari packages take care of everything from transportation to accommodations, so you can focus on enjoying the experience of a lifetime. With our team's extensive knowledge of the best hunting and safari spots in South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, you'll have access to some of the most breathtaking views and exciting game hunting opportunities on the planet. And with our commitment to ethical hunting and giving back to the local community, you'll know that your trip with us is making a positive impact. Book your trip now and let us take care of the rest. Find out more at KrugerSafariClub.com.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insight and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
Are you in need of a good power washing? Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash is a full-service pressure washing corporation with over 15 years of experience in the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. Cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more. We remove dirt, grime, and more to give you that sparkle you desire. Call me at 479-763-5561. We're open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Mike Jr.'s Mo Wash, one call, cleans it all.
I love Tyler Dale. He just needs a little bit more education. But I love him.
7-0 run for Oklahoma right now. Hogs had a 7-0 run moments ago. Davenport, right side three-pointer good. Davenport stops the run and ties the game.
Join the conversation. Call or text ESPN Arkansas on the McClarty Daniel hotline, 877-377-6963.
You can join the conversation like Dan Hampton joining the College Football Hall of Fame. Long overdue in the eyes of many, not just Arkansas Razorback fans. It's been the Pro Football Hall of Fame forever. Now finally selected the College Football Hall of Fame. We'll talk about him and some more stuff coming up in just a sec.
Hey, set your home up with a new look with new window coverings this year with Lisa's Louvers of Northwest Arkansas. They can dress up your home or office with new and beautiful custom window treatments from Graber. These are gorgeous draperies, energy-efficient shades, smart technology blinds you can control from your phone or tablet or inside your home, shades, and really everything in between that will keep you covered. They've got over 20 years of experience in the business, and Lisa's Louvers is a proud small business right here in Northwest Arkansas that values customer service. They make that the first priority. Lisa's Louvers, as we said, proud carrier of Graber window covering. So get the experience you need, get the quality design work you need with a free consultation by calling 479-644-6404, 479-644-6404, or go to lisaslouversnwa.com.
Clay, maybe a beef at the Hampton camp as it took this long. I mean, like, you look at his stats, you look at the impact he had at Arkansas under both Broyles and Holtz. Why did this take so long, man?
Well, I think if you go through the list that goes into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame every year, I mean, first of all, in the NFL when he played, what were there, 28 teams? I mean, as far as college football, there's 100 and something teams, and every team has players like that. And I mean, when I say that, look at the list. Was it 24 or whatever that they're bringing in this year?
I think that's right, yes.
Yeah, but look at them.
Randy Moss and
so go back and look at last year's and rate them against Dan Hampton, what he did in college. I mean, it's who's who. You know, there's Outland Trophy winners, and you're not talking about from one team 1 year. You're talking about rating 100 and something teams, over 50 years that are eligible to go in. So, I mean, it's I can take exception that he should have been in, but I look at the class every year, and I don't argue any of those guys. I mean, I've never looked at one and thought that, that guy doesn't deserve it. So it is a tough job to figure that out. It's easier in the NFL because you play more years. Your highlight of your college career might be 2 years. That might be, what you have as far as your resume. But you might have 15 years in the NFL, and there's fewer players. So it's apples and oranges. Do you belong in one and you don't belong in the other? But yeah, there's a lot of guys that are in one and not in the other. So you judge his NFL career on his NFL career. Judge his college on his college. So but we tend to lump it all together and say, well, what did he do in college and what did he do in the NFL, and we'll put him in the National Football Foundation based on the total package. Dan Hampton was a great player. I mean, he's on my list of, the best players to play at Arkansas regardless of position. He's in the top 5. And all those other guys are in the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame, so he's where he should be.
A bunch of gold jackets on that list, and of the two, a little more prestigious to get a gold jacket. Not that I think it'd be awesome to be the College Football Hall of Fame, but definitely one that I think more people notice. Clay, we were kicking on this idea in comparison with college and NFL yesterday. If given the opportunity and given the choice to go to a Super Bowl or the championship Monday night, which would you take? I don't know if I've gotten your opinion on this yet.
Well, I haven't seen either one. So, since they've created the CFP, I haven't seen either one. So I probably would say college. But to me, the best day of football is to do semifinal games. That was 10 hours of football, and I couldn't hardly move from my recliner. I mean, I didn't want to miss a play. Every play was meaningful in my eyes, and every play, was both teams with their best guys out there trying their hardest to win a game. And I thought it was terrific. Now, the last quarter of the championship game was, kind of a bummer, but that, you kind of saw one team ran out of players. They're beat up. Didn't have a running back. Their quarterback was beat up. So that's why it fizzled at the end. But it's I didn't cover pro football, so the Super Bowl doesn't have as much appeal to me as national championship games in football.
I wouldn't want the hassle of the Super Bowl. I mean, not that the other events don't have security, but the level of security and everything you got to go through to get to a Super Bowl, you get inside the venue. Everyone I know that's been said, man, it is, particularly the one down in 2012 down in Arlington, it's really ramped up since then. I mean, it is it's a feat just to get to your seat, I think.
I think you're probably right, and I understand that's the way it is. But if you go to college football games, you're going through metal detectors there too. Yeah. In a lot of venues, not so much some others, but it's the national championship games. The security's pretty tight for that. There's people that live and work in Northwest Arkansas that have affiliations with Landmark, and they've gone to Super Bowls. Because they have to bring so many people in. I know several that work for Landmark in Northwest Arkansas, and they're plucked as the cream of the cream. And they may not be working the game, but they might be working 3 parties during the week.
Hey, start the new year out with Arts Barbecue. They got lighter options on the menu for you right now. And one of the things I love at Arts is they smoke all of their meats in house. So the ham and the turkey and the things they put on smoked chicken that go on top of your salad have more flavor and just taste better and make eating that salad the right choice this time of the year. Lighter options are available from chicken to low-carb entrees and more. Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Even though you try to be Ty, you just can't quite get there.
Well, I just probably can't get there. But you shouldn't try either.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Join ESPN Arkansas in the Morning Rush in supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be raising money to help Arkansas Children's Northwest fulfill its promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. You can donate now through February 2nd online at hitthatline.com. Be sure to click on the Morning Rush fundraising link brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or lease your dream vehicle today. View online at hondaoffayetteville.com or stop by their showroom inside Fayetteville Auto Park.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is The Morning Rush.
Kobe Hamilton! Can you believe it?
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Subiaco and Scranton, if you made a resolution to get reliable internet for the new year, Wave Rural Connect can make that happen. The latest zone covering Subiaco and Scranton is now open. Make this New Year's resolution come true with internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust. Order online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or phone 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
It's time to vote for your favorite high school player of the week. ESPN Arkansas and Shamrock Roofing and Construction are recognizing the most outstanding high school student athletes. Visit hitthatline.com each week to vote for your favorite athlete of the week. The high school player of the week is brought to you by Shamrock Roofing and Construction. No one can install a better roof at a better price with a better warranty than Shamrock. Visit them at shamrockroofer.com. Visit the nominees each week at hitthatline.com.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, and savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
You had 4 conference games last night, 3 tonight. A couple big wins and a couple decent games. Alabama whacked South Carolina 74-47 in Tuscaloosa. Kentucky beat Missouri 90-77 in Lexington. LSU beat Vanderbilt 77-69, and then Auburn keeps it rolling with a 66-55 victory over Texas A&M. Guys, A&M's an 0-2 hole. First they lose at home to LSU. Didn't expect them to necessarily win in the jungle, but you got some work to do in College Station. It looks like
you got the league's perhaps best player in Wade Taylor, the fourth. So, I mean, yeah, you should that is not where you expected to be, obviously, is in an 0-2 hole.
Clay, have you watched much of I have not watched a lot of Texas A&M yet to this point. I didn't catch the LSU game last week. Have you gotten a chance to watch any of the Aggies yet to this point?
I watched a couple early, and then I watched almost all of their game last night, and that was a competitive game. It was nip and tuck with 3 or 4 minutes in Auburn won the last 2 minutes, so that was an interesting game because you're trying to weigh, what is Auburn, what is Texas A&M. We just saw Auburn dismantle Arkansas, and what were they going to be like. They didn't play as well last night, but part of that is the physical nature of the Texas A&M team. They're going to fight you for every offensive rebound. It was. That's a competitive game, and Texas A&M is going to win some games this year. They're better than that 0-2. And I didn't watch the LSU game, but it's they played hard and pretty well on the road at Auburn last night. So I think that's a better measurement than, say, maybe their first game.
One of the games I have marked on my calendar for SEC play is when Auburn hosts Kentucky on Saturday, February the 17th. It's a 5 o'clock ESPN game. That could potentially have a huge implications on who ultimately ends the SEC this year. Tennessee's going to have a say-so about that as well, but Auburn is looking very, very good right now.
Yeah, to me, the most talented team is Tennessee. And, you say that with Kentucky, and you look, and there's 8 or 9 guys that probably going to play in the league. But as far as experience and talent together, it's Tennessee in my book. And they may fizzle or whatever, but when I watch them play defense, I think, that's a team that can go to the Final Four.
They regular season Rick, though, that's what always it seems to get them hung up around the round of 32.
I didn't say they will. I said can.
Yeah, they added Dalton Connect, that shooter in the offseason. You mentioned the veterans and like Vescovy, and you've also got, I think it's Josiah Jordan-James plus Ziegler as well. That backcourt is very good. So they have some pieces.
They have all the pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you watch them cut and run offense, and the way they can defend, you just think, well, that this is over the course of the season, and you say regular season, but that's what we've got right now. They've done well. It was unfortunate they lose. Didn't they lose Ziegler right at the end of the regular season last year? Didn't have him in the tournament.
Yeah, and Clay was against us, against Arkansas.
Yep.
So he goes down. I'm thinking, this might be
change their season.
100%. So good to see him coming again, recovering from that ACL injury.
Yep.
I know that's a tough injury to come back from, but he's looking like. And Tennessee, they had a tough, like Arkansas, they had a tough non-conference schedule. So they're trying to solidify themselves in SEC play, and they're trying to do so in Starkville tonight. That's the 6 o'clock game on the SEC network, followed by Florida and Ole Miss in Oxford. Tom, we looked it up. I don't think there's any basketball game on, according to the schedule, before Arkansas, Georgia on ESPNU. There's a game at 10 o'clock that follows you. It's Colorado and someone else, but it looks like the first game on ESPNU.
Good. Start on time then. Yeah. No issues there.
I looked it up. That doesn't mean it's 100% correct, but I did not see a game when I went through the game schedule at this point. All right, last thing here in your SEC update. The 2024 championship odds have come out. Georgia has the best odds, followed by Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, and Texas not far behind. Any surprise? Carson Beck coming back for his senior year. They'll lose some guys to reload. Any surprise that Georgia is number one on this list?
Tells you what his draft grades were, number one. And number two, Georgia's where Alabama was, 3 or 4 years ago. They just one 5-star moves on, another 5-star moves in. That's the way they've recruited the last few years, Clay.
Yeah, and quarterbacks can make more in college than they can in the NFL.
Yeah. See Brock Purdy.
If you're a second-team quarterback. Well, I mean, but by and large, I think when you say Carson Beck, what he was going to make if he was drafted, I mean, like you say, his grade was 4th round or whatever it was. Yep. I don't know what. I mean, it might have been.
It obviously wasn't high enough to go to the draft. So.
Yes,
or make it a clear decision to go to the draft.
Yeah, based on what he can make in the NIL at Georgia, he's going to make $1 million. He was not going to make that with an NFL contract based on what his draft status was.
Well,
so it's probably a pretty easy decision.
Comes back, wins another championship with Georgia. He'll have a lifetime of earnings in the state of Georgia just being Carson Beck.
Is Stetson Bennett on a roster?
He was on the Rams. That's a good question, Clay. He was on the Rams at one point. I don't know if he's currently on an active roster right now. But
if you're Carson Beck and you say, well, Stetson Bennett's his best days were at Georgia. My best days might be at Georgia too. So at least for next year.
Where's your anymore? You got to think about your brand. I mean, that's the whole core of NIL. But his brand is going to be Georgia football, not the NFL, most likely.
Yep. That's going to do it for your SEC update here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Yeah, talking about all these games and the NFL playoffs this weekend, you need the Oaklawn Sports app. They've got new funding options that make depositing or withdrawing easier than ever with the Oaklawn Sports app. Sign up today and receive first bet insurance up to $250. It's your one-stop destination for everything, including the wild card weekend coming up in the NFL playoffs, college basketball. We've been talking about that all morning long, and the NBA all in full swing. And, hey, whether you like parlays or singles, check out the alternate lines for each game where you can buy and sell up to 10 points. Bet with the brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Clay, the biggest beef I probably latched onto this morning is the fact that Peacock is broadcasting the Chiefs and Dolphins game Saturday night. I'm not a Chiefs or Dolphins fan. I just think it's going to be the most entertaining of the weekend. I refuse to pay $5.99 for Peacock in this one-time event. I think it's the only streaming game this year. There will be more coming up. What do you think about that, and what would you say your beef is this morning?
Well, I guess I'll go with you because I was just assuming I was going to watch that game, and I don't guess I will because I don't have Peacock. And I'm not sure I know how to find Peacock, so I'm really out of luck. Old guys that don't understand it. I tell you what was funny. We got to duck camp Sunday afternoon. This is Jerry Jones's place. The Cowboys are playing. And we've got 9 old guys in there trying to figure out how to, because it's got DirecTV, the Duck Lodge does. That DirecTV does not have Fox right now in Arkansas. I mean, you can't get it. They're on with the local stations that are Fox, they're on a stalemate as far as DirecTV. Same thing in North Arkansas. We don't get we get DirecTV, but we have what do you call it, YouTube TV, that we can fall back on and at home to watch, CBS or Fox channels. They didn't have that at the Duck Club. So here we are. We're all trying to stream from our smartphones into this smart TV. And Charlie Cole, who's a heart surgeon in Northwest Arkansas, we were Jimmy Counts' guests, they're partners. Charlie's 42, 43, something like that. He was the only one that could figure it out. But we did watch the Cowboys
the young guy,
in Jerry's Lodge, yeah.
And was that, you said that was last weekend?
Yeah.
So they, again, annihilated the Washington Commanders. So I guess there's a lot of happy a lot of happy people in that Duck Lodge.
Yeah, all the workers there, they've hosted Jerry and Steven and Jerry Jr. I mean, they've hosted all the family for years and years and years. So everywhere you go, there's a cowboy logo with the duck flying through it. That's their Duck Lodge logo, the star with a mallard in the middle of it. Yeah, we had a great time. Hunted Hampton's Reservoir, and but it wasn't uncomfortable temperature wise. I'm going to another club this weekend, Duck Club, and it is going to be. We'll probably have to break ice to get into the duck holes. It's going to be so cold.
Tommy brought it up, man. Negative 2.
It'll be cold next week, but I mean, you got to have the colder weather up. No, I assume I hadn't looked at the way it's going to be up in the northern part of the flyway, but that's what you got to have is that cold weather to drive them down.
Yeah, well, yeah. There'll be more ducks, but you're going to have to really, really earn them.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get up at 5:30 and it'll be 0 or whatever. It's not one of those deals you're going to stay out there very long. If they're flying,
ice, yeah.
If you're flying, yeah, there's they have mechanical ice eaters now. They've got it all. I mean, as far as some of these places.
You know what I always say, Tommy? It
Never
flies.
heard of an ice eater?
I've not.
Yep. That's not a hockey term.
Okay.
Well, you got your duck hunting jacket you had in here yesterday.
I know, man.
I mean,
got my waders in the garage.
I think Clay wants to take you this weekend. It sounds like
that's what I picked up on.
I'll tell you where to meet us on Sunday, but I wouldn't wait
late.
too long. Yeah.
But don't be late.
All right, I'll make the. Is it in Stuttgart area, or where are you going, Clay?
It's between. This one is that one was in south of Stuttgart, Red Hill Lodge. This is going to be Lexicon's Steel Wings, and that's between Carlisle and Humnoke.
Creme de la creme there.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, good food.
I don't care about the hunting. I just want to go with you, Clay, for the eating and the storytelling.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, there's good storytelling.
Yeah. They don't need me to cook. They always have better cooks than I
wish I could
do.
say we'd tell stories on Ty, but his name will not come up.
See, that would be a situation if I ever caught that invite that I just sit and listen. I know as the the host of this show and the co-host, I know I kind of have to steer the ship and lead the way, but there are situations where I shut my mouth and I just kind of.
I mean, you know your place?
Take it in. Yeah, know my place.
And you'd like this place. They've got a golf simulator and all that kind of stuff, movie rooms.
So what time are we meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here. I've got a gift card right now, and I'm debating if I invest in golf shoes or tennis shoes. What is the better investment? Golf shoes. I've ratty tennis shoes I've worn for like 3 or 4 years.
Get the tennis shoes.
Get the tennis shoes. Golf shoes won't help.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to take you to play golf, so I would. There would be no point in me saying get something that you're not going to use.
Well, I was hoping for a duck hunting invite this morning and a golf invite. Evidently, I did not get either.
What would give you any thought that I might invite you to go duck hunting?
It's a new year, Clay. It's 2024.
Oh, okay.
He's a more mature 29-year-old now, Clay.
Come on, Clay.
He got a haircut,
too. You would learn by now that I'm not taking you anywhere.
He got him a haircut. You'd be proud of him the way he looks right now.
Oh, he's got a haircut.
Yeah,
he got prestige. He
looks like a civil human being.
It's funny how that it is. That's going to do it for us this morning. Appreciate everyone joining us. We'll be back tomorrow on Thursday.
Supporting Arkansas Children's Northwest all month long. We will be raising money to help Arkansas Children's Northwest fulfill its promise of making children better today and healthier tomorrow. You can donate now through February 2nd online at hitthatline.com. Be sure to click on the Morning Rush fundraising link brought to you by Honda of Fayetteville. Buy or leave.